Hello, this is Diana Macys-Staley, and I will be your guide in this Level 2 foundational course of energy centers and the chakra healing. I want to congratulate you for taking that next step to achieving balance within the body and healing your energy centers. And so we will begin in a few minutes here. I want to prepare you before we get started. You want to do this in a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. This is not something that you would do in the car. So if you're in the car, I want you to turn this video off. It's not something that you can listen to and do while you're driving. So I just wanted to say that real quick. And I want you to be in a seated position with your feet on the floor, sitting maybe at a table, but comfortable, or in your favorite chair with your feet on the floor and just kind of relaxed. This works best when the spine is actually sitting straight up. If you lay down, it doesn't really give the effect that's needed. We've tried it both ways, and I found with my clients in the past that the energy flow is much better through the body to release things if we're in this, in a sitting position. So get comfortable. I want you to get some water so that you can take a drink while you're going through this. And when you're going through each of the energy centers, you may need to stop and kind of take a break in between. It is like a meditation in a way, and we're going to do some breathing exercises with this to actually release things. And so the water's necessary. Sometimes people will get kind of a funny taste in their mouth when they're releasing these things. So I wanted to mention that first so that you're prepared before we get started. And this is an energetic release. I want to explain that a little bit. We're going to be releasing any kind of energy in the body that does not need to be there. And each one of those areas, the energy centers or the chakras, we're going to start at the foundation and move our way up the body. And each one of those things has a reflection in our lives. And so our root chakra is related to our foundation, our home base, and different things. And so I will talk about those things first so that we kind of trigger those in the mind first. And then we talk about when everything's in balance, this is what you should have as a normal function. And if it's out of balance, then these are the things you would be experiencing possibly. Now, you won't experience, if something's off balance, you won't experience everything off in that chakra, but you may experience some of the things that I talk about. And so we want to trigger that on a subconscious level with the mind, with the brain, and have you thinking about it. And then when we release these things, we're releasing them energetically. And because we are multi-dimensional beings, we release these things on many different levels, because this can be related to other lifetimes we've had. We carry that with us in the body, as we have gone through and talked about in the level 1 energy video. I always suggest people go through the level 1 first and then do the level 2 so that you have an understanding, or you may already know how that works if you're going through this video and you just want to go in and do a nice cleanse in your energy center. So if you haven't listened to level 1 and you don't really know a lot about chakras or the energy centers, you may want to go back and do that one first and then continue on with this one, just so you know. So we're going to get started here in a little bit, and the breathing exercises are pretty interesting because what we're going to do is, if you think about when a dog gets stressed, they will pant, and what they're doing is taking energy in and releasing energy, and or a horse will make a noise when they kind of get stressed and they take a deep breath in and push out. So that is what we're going to be doing with the breathing. So we're going to take like a deep breath in and do that now, and then release, kind of what you would do in a meditation, okay? And so we'll do a lot of those breathing in and out, and that is what actually releases this energy. So this is a wonderful technique for future purposes, because if you do feel stressed, you can do the same exercise, and this helps to release the energy and clear it. So I'm really excited today about sharing this with you. And if you want to go ahead and get comfortable, get yourself some water, and this will take about an hour. I'm not sure by the time I get done with the video, but it's usually about an hour to go through this progress of going through and clearing your energy centers. So again, welcome, and you will feel so much better when we finish this. I promise you that. You will feel lighter. So I'm excited to share that with you, and we will get started here in a minute when you're ready. Okay, so hopefully you are in your place, your quiet spot to do this release in the chakra system. And so you've got your glass of water, you're sitting in your comfortable chair, and so I'm going to go through a little bit more about the chakra system, or the energy centers. So we have 7 energy centers, as you know, the main ones, but there's actually 22 within the whole body. We are going to focus on the 7 because this is the easiest way. It would take forever to do this meditation if we went through all 22. So it's easier, and we can cover those 22 areas within the 7 main energy centers as we move through this healing and cleansing process. So we're going to start at the bottom with the base chakra, and then we will move up to the 7th chakra, which is at the top of the head, also known as the crown chakra. So we will move through these one by one until we get to the top, and we'll do breathing exercises as we're moving through each one. And so again, you have to think about being relaxed and open to this experience, and allow things to be released, and this will help to release these energies from the body on all levels. We're going to do this on a DNA level and a cellular level, which is a little bit different than what most people do, but this really goes in and releases these things. And so when we are breathing in, we use the energy of light from around us, the creator energy, and pull in love and light and peace as we're breathing in. And we take that deep breath in and we hold it for a moment, and we think of love and light coming in when that breathing starts. So it's like when you're breathing in, think of love and light coming in. You might want to close your eyes. A lot of people close their eyes when they do that, and imagine the light energy coming in like light particles, and we're going to bring those into the body. And then when we breathe out, we are literally exhaling what is not needed. So we want to release it through the breath. Okay, so it's like releasing stress. It's like we breathe in and release. Okay, so this process, it may take 2 or 3 breathing in and out exercises to release something, or when we get into some of these energies, I'll explain, it may take more, 5 or 6. If it feels like there's energy that's stuck, you might feel like a cramp somewhere, stop the video and do more breathing. If that is the case, that just means that you're releasing more than everyone else. Usually when you do this the first time, quite a bit will come out. Now, when you're releasing, you don't want to ball this energy up in a ball to release it. You want it to come out in like particles, because if you want to try and ball this energy up to release it, it may be hard to release, and that's what causes that discomfort. So if we think of it, the love and light coming in as particles, and then we're releasing what we don't need in particles, then it makes the process that much easier. A lot of people get excited and anxious once they realize that this is working, that they want to get everything out, and we have to do this slowly because these things were slowly accumulated in you, so you want to release them in a way that's in your highest and best interest for the body, and allow those things to come out naturally, organically, so that way you're not pushing it out, okay? Because we want this to be a natural process. Just think of that while you're doing it, and then, if you want to go back to this in a couple of weeks and do it again, that is what I always suggest to my clients. When we actually do the breathing, you want to breathe in and then imagine yourself when you release that breath after holding it for a moment, like you're blowing candles out on a birthday cake. So take that breath in, and you want your mouth open when you breathe out, and blow like that, where you can hear it, and release. Okay, so they're kind of deeper breaths, and just in and out. So you take one in, and I will be doing this with you, so you will hear me take the breath in, and then I'll tell you to hold it, and then release. Okay, so we'll go through that so you'll know exactly when you need to do your breathing as we move forward. And just so you know, these energies are connected in a way that are pertaining to the body, mind, and spirit all together. So it's on a biological level and a spiritual level that we're releasing things. These energy centers basically, when they're in balance, will help you to become more focused, more aligned with where you need to be, and you'll understand this better as I explain their functionality of each of these energy centers. It's really surprising how they're connected as well, because we're also going to, clear anything that is connected to that energy center or chakra. Okay, so they may be connected to emotional issues, survival instincts, our self-esteem, our ego, our ability to communicate, or our ability to experience love with people. So this is really important, and an important step of becoming balanced from within. And then that starts to shine on the outside, which is the most beautiful thing. So we're going to get started with the base chakra here. And so this is going to be fun. And like I said, you will feel really good when we finish. Okay, so now that you're relaxed, we're going to start off with the first energy center, which is known as the root chakra, which is a red colored ball or orb. You can imagine that. I've got a picture in front of you right now of a red orb of energy. And this is located at the base of the spine, and it corresponds with the perineum along the first 3 vertebrae at the pelvic plexus. So this is like at the base, the foundation. You're sitting right on your root chakra or your root energy. And this particular energy is related to our foundation. It is related to the following functions and behavioral characteristics such as security, safety, survival, basic needs such as food, sleep, shelter, self-preservation, physicality, physical identity, aspects of ourselves, grounding, feeling grounded, support, and foundation for living our lives. It's related to our housing, our financial safety. It is what makes us feel secure in our lives, and it's kind of our anchor to the earth energy. So when we're out of balance in the root chakra, this red ball of energy that is at the base, the foundation, we can experience deficiencies or imbalances that represent or related to excessive negativity, cynicism, eating disorders, greed, avarice, illusion, excessive feeling of insecurities, living in survival mode constantly. So someone that is homeless or struggling financially, this chakra or energy center is out of balance. When we put this back into balance and it is unblocked, we can experience this revival, restoration in this area on the outside level. So if any of these things are resonating with you as far as, being out of balance, even the eating disorders, it's really important that, we might eat too little or eat too much or not eat on a regular basis. And we know that this energy center is out of balance when we are not hungry. It means that we're out of balance. We might be so stressed we can't eat, or we're so stressed that we eat too much. And so we want to check this energy center if that happens. So we're going to go in and do a release here of anything that is not in your highest and best interest in this root chakra area, this energy center, and go in and release right now. We're going to release on a cellular level, a DNA level. We're going to release anything that's connected to this base chakra. And I want you to focus now on those things that you need to release in this area, and take a deep breath in, and then do that with love and light energy coming in that breath. Allow it to go through the body. You hold your breath, and then we'll release out what's not in your highest and best interest. And we're going to do that on all times, dimensions, spaces, and realities, the past, present, and future lifetimes. So go ahead and take your deep breath in, and then hold it, and then exhale out any of those things that no longer serve you. Again, take a deep breath in, hold it, and then release. One more time. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and then release. You may need to repeat this another time, so you can stop the video here, or you can go and move to the next chakra with me. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second energy center, or what is called the sacral chakra, which is associated with the color orange. So you will see a orange ball of energy. And this is associated with the emotional body, sensuality, and creativity. It is characterized by flow and flexibility as well. And the function of the sacral chakra is directed by the principle of pleasure. So when we have a look at this energy center from the basics, including its location, and potential signs of imbalance. This is what we're going to look at here. The sacral chakra is located about 3 inches below your navel area, and it's the center of your lower belly and the back. It's located at the level of the lumbar vertebrae. So with this, it also expands into the locations of the genital areas, and especially level of ovaries for women and testicles for men. It's associated with the lymphatic system, so this affects our lymph glands in the body, and so it's connected to that. And that is why when we go through this, we want to release anything connected to this energy center, because sometimes it spreads out through the body as well. And that energy can be connected to other energy centers for different things. So as we go in and release, we want to think about that, how it's connected to these other spaces. So when this energy center of the sacral area is in balance, we're in balance with our emotions, our feelings. We have good relationships. We can relate to people. We can express our sexuality, our sensual pleasures. We can feel the energy easily in the inner worlds, the inside, and the outer feelings that are coming in. This is also where our creative energy comes from, is from the sacral area. And so this is where we create, which is obvious because of the organs that are there for both men and women. And this is also where fantasies are created. So you can imagine when this area is not in balance, people can experience the following. So rather than having, this center of nurturing, pleasure, harmonious exchange, it can get to another level if it's out of balance, and we get into dependent relationships or dependency on different things. We can get into codependent relationships with other people, or even substances that grant you easy access for pleasure. So when we have certain addictions or substances that we get addicted to because it gives us pleasure, and that can be any substance. It doesn't necessarily have to be, getting addicted to cigarettes or drugs. It could be food. It could be a person, or other things. So when it's out of balance, those are some of the things that happen. We could be ruled by our emotions and be very emotional, or be triggered easily by things. So the other area of this is like the opposite of that, where we feel numb. We're out of touch with ourselves. We're out of touch with how we feel. We're kind of numb, So that's another area. we can have an overindulgence of fantasies and sexual obsessions if this area is out of balance, or the opposite, where we really don't desire sex anymore and we have a lack of sexual desire or satisfactions, okay? Or we could feel stuck in a particular feeling or mood. And I call this sometimes being in a funk. It's like we get stuck in a certain mood and we can't pull ourselves out of it. It's because this energy center is blocked. So this is the very interesting thing when, you know, we get out of balance. How much this can affect our moods and how we're feeling and how that affects the body. So right now we want to go in and release anything in this area that's not in your highest and best interest. Anything that's on this list that you may be feeling currently or you have in the past. It may come in for, you know, periods. It doesn't mean that you have this all the time either. So we want to release these things, and you want to think of them being in particles needing to be released, and then we want to bring in the love and light energy that's outside of us right now and breathe that in, and then exhale what we don't need. So I want you to take a deep breath in and hold it, and then you're breathing in that light energy, the love energy around you, and then I want you to go ahead and release what's not serving you right now. So let's go in and do that. Take a deep breath in. We're going to release it in the DNA level. We're going to release it on a cellular level. And we're going to release anything connected to that. And we're going to do that in the past, present, and future. And we will do it in all times, dimensions, spaces, and realities. So take a deep breath in. And then hold it. And then release. Take another deep breath in. Hold it. And then release. And so if you feel like you need to do more, if you don't feel this tingling sensation in that area, I want you to take another deep breath in and then release. And as we move through these, you will feel the body changing. You'll feel this tingling sensation in the body where it's being released as we move through. If you want to stop the video at this point and take a few more deep breaths in and release, we are done with the sacral energy or the second energy, the orange energy at this moment. Next, we will go into the third energy center, which is the yellow ball there in front of you on the diagram. This is also known as the solar plexus chakra. And this one is characterized by the expression of will, personal power, mental abilities. Our ego is also housed in this area, and our belief systems. So this one is a little bit harder to clear the energy from, not only because of the size that it covers, but because of all the things that it's connected to on an emotional level and a physical level. So the location is actually anywhere above the belly button, and it actually sits, the diaphragm sits on this area, so it's basically the stomach area anywhere above the belly button. Below the belly button is the second chakra, or second energy center. Okay, so this is the one that's in the stomach. Okay, and so when this is out of balance, a lot of times we can gain weight in this area because we're holding on to things that we shouldn't be. So this one's really important. This one does take longer because there are so many things connected to it, and you'll see as I talk about this. So this energy center has to do with will, personal power, taking responsibility for one's life, taking control, our mental abilities, the intellect, forming personal opinions and beliefs, our belief systems, right? Making decisions, setting the direction in our lives, clarity of judgments, personal identity. Our personality comes from this third energy center. Self-assurance is in this area, confidence, self-discipline, and independence. The other thing to note about the energy centers is that they can actually shut down or close, and not be flowing with energy, and things will feel like they're stuck. So I wanted to mention that as well. In any of the energy centers, this can happen, but it's more noticeable in this third energy center, the solar plexus chakra. And like I said, as I go through this, it's like it'll become very, very clear as to why it's so important to have this imbalance. From a psychological and behavioral function, this particular energy center is where we express our will. It's our intellectual abilities. A lot of people think that our intellect comes only from the brain, but it's not. It's also connected to this third energy center. So we need to keep that in mind. It's not just like, our intellect comes from our brain and that's, brain power, right? No, it's this third energy center in the solar plexus that connects with that in order to express that into the world. It's how we show that, okay? It's like the accounting in the mind, we put pluses and minuses on everything, and that whole thing is figured out between these two areas, which makes it really interesting. Our personal power is also very, very important out of this third energy center. The ability to establish ideas and plans and put those plans to action. So a lot of people can come up with a lot of good ideas, but then they can't put that into action. So this is what's connecting here on this level again. And how we can convey wisdom to other people. So if we're out of balance, we may not be able to express ourselves very well with other people. And we know then that we need to work in this energy center. It's not that you don't have the ability to do that. It's just that there's something in this energy center that needs to be cleared out so that you can express yourself easier. And I just really find all of this fascinating. When I was doing the research on this, it just amazed me at the functions of each of these energy centers. So as we move forward here, when we look at this third energy center, it's also about our self-esteem and our social life. It's being assertive. Can we be assertive in a balanced way? Exerting your will in a way that leads to expected results. And this, if this is in balance, it's like we can put a plan in place and then we easily manifest whatever it is that we're trying to do. So if we can come up with these ideas and we're trying to get a business started or whatever we're trying to create, right? And we put all these great ideas together, but we can't seem to get it to manifest. We know it goes back to the solar plexus, and so, or this third energy center. Or let's say we don't have harmonious relationships around us, or, something's off. Again, we wanted to check this energy center and make sure that it's clear, okay? So if somebody's out of balance, they might want to have excessive control and authority over their environment or the people around them, okay? Or in the opposite case, they may have a deficiency, and so it'll feel like a blocked energy. So you might feel helplessness or irresponsibility coming in with that energy. Being obsessed with minute details, seeing life through a filter of pluses and minuses, it's like, while losing sight of the whole picture, it's like this is another area that would show us that this is out of balance. Being manipulative or coming from a space of ego and misusing your power with people or situations, your energy center is out of balance. A lack of clear direction, like we don't have any purpose. A lack of purpose or like ambition. So we have no ambition, we have no direction. We're just kind of going through blah, day-to-day, life without really feeling excited about anything. We know this energy center needs to be cleared. And on the opposite side of that, we can make plans and have all these great ideas, but we can't find like an efficient way to get these things done. Okay, so it goes on both sides. It's like we can either have too much or too little. And so we want it to be balanced so that we can, be whole and have this energy flowing through us so that we can build that life that we've always dreamed about. It's amazing that these energies have that much of an effect on the body, right? So we want to go in and, look at these and say, oh, if my ego's out of check, and, a lot of people on the spiritual side, they will say that we need to get rid of our ego completely. And I disagree with that, because I think that we have to have a balanced ego, because that is what shows us what our personality is. Without an ego, we're going to be kind of lacking. We'll seem blah without that, because we need that to push forward on projects, to push forward in life, and identify with that and our personality in order to move forward in life. And so that's why it's important to have a balanced ego rather than say, oh, this person needs to release their ego completely. No, there is no such thing. If we do that, then we really have no personality. We're just kind of like existing. So this is why I believe that, it's important to have balance of these energy centers coming in. It's like we don't want to really release things, okay, at that extreme level. It just doesn't make sense to me. So we're going to go in now, and I want you to kind of relax the body. And this one, you're probably going to want to turn the video off at the end and make sure that you've cleared everything, because this one takes a while to clear out because there's so much there. It's like the garbage can in our bodies. We put everything here. We store everything here. So we want to release those things now. And so I want you to get focused about, what you feel you need to release, and think about that releasing in these small particles from the body. And then we're going to bring in the positive energy, the love and light energy from the outside with our breathing. And you take that deep breath in, and we're going to release when we exhale. And we're going to release this on a DNA level, a cellular level. We're going to release anything connected to this area in the third energy center and this solar plexus area, and kind of visualize that. We're going to visualize it happening on all times, dimensions, spaces, realities. We're going to release it on a DNA level, a cellular level, and anything connected to it. So go ahead and imagine this positive light energy of light and love coming in, and take your deep breath in of that. And we want to release anything that no longer serves you. Deep breath in, hold it, and then release. And we want to kind of take a little bit of a deeper breath here because it is the stomach area, okay? So take another deep breath in, hold that, and then release. We're releasing anything that no longer serves you. Any of this stuff, any of this imbalance within you. Take another deep breath in, hold it, and then release. And you'll want to do this at least 5 or 6 times. I'm only going to do it 3 times on the video. So go ahead and stop the video here and do some more breathing until that area feels clear, or until you feel this tingling sensation in this area. Now, it's kind of common for this area for us to maybe feel a spot or maybe a slight uncomfortable feeling in a specific area. That means something is stuck. It doesn't want to come out. So I want you to do breathing until it actually releases and focus on that area. You might want to put your hand on that area and kind of command that to go out of the body to release it. Just because this is a tough area to clear, just so you know. It's not just you if it's not clearing out right away. It's common for this to happen. So go ahead and stop the video, and then we'll go to the next area. But you should feel lighter on the bottom half of the body. You might even feel like you're really heavy on top as you're sitting there. Take a drink of water, do whatever, and we'll come back for the next energy center. Okay, so we're going to move on to the 4th energy center, which is also called the Heart Chakra. Its original Sanskrit name is interesting. It's Anahata. And I don't know if I pronounced that right. I have a hard time with pronunciation sometimes. But what that means is it colors our life with compassion, love, and beauty. This drives the principles of transformation and integration in our lives. And it's said to be like this bridge from the earthly to the spiritual. It is acting like a bridge. It is actually located in the center of the chest rather than slightly off like our heart is. The energy center is directly in the middle of our chest. This energy center actually assists us with the glands and bodily functions connected to the thymus gland. It's responsible for hormone production, and most importantly, it regulates our immune system. So that's why it's not technically the heart energy center itself, the actual physical heart. It's in the center here, okay? And so we need to remember that as we kind of like think about it being in the center of the chest rather than the actual heart itself. The main functions associated with the heart chakra, or this 4th energy center, which is represented by the green energy ball. If I didn't say that, I wanted to mention that. It's the green one on the screen in front of you. The main functions are for love of oneself and others when we're in balance, relating, relationships, compassion, empathy, forgiveness, acceptance, transformation, change, the ability to grieve, or the ability to reach peace. You know, we always have that saying about having peace in our heart, right? Compassionate discernment, and also it's a center of awareness. It's where we integrate our insights. So when we're open in this area, and this is functioning properly, we can feel very deeply connected to the people around us. anything around us, really. It's like we'll have this like energy that just flows and we're open. It's a harmonious energy exchange that happens, and I think it really has to do with the fact that it is the center. We have 3 chakras that are below this area and 3 above, so it really is the center of where the chi energy flows through. So what happens if this is blocked? How would we be feeling if this energy is blocked? We may be overly defensive in certain situations if this energy is blocked, or feeling closed down. We may experience jealousy, a fear of intimacy. Again, that is connected to the other energy centers, as you see. We can become codependent, or be in codependent relationships, relying on another's approval or attention in order to feel like we're fulfilled or balanced, or we're trying to please other people too much, and we'll do that at any cost. Okay, that's when it's at an extreme. It's like we get obsessed, those obsessive like disorders in this area. It could be that you may always want to be putting yourself in the role of the savior or the rescuer, or on the contrary, be the victim, right? We can experience excessive isolation, being a recluse or antisocial if this is out of balance, and the opposite way. So again, it goes either too much on the positive side, or too little on the more negative side of the energy. So we have to be in balance in this area. Holding grudges or not being able to forgive, if we're not in balance, then, this is what's going to happen. We're going to have a hard time forgiving people. We may be jealous. We may feel closed down. We may feel, like the victim. So these are very common, experiences that all of us have at one time in our life or another, where we're feeling these things. This is also from a physical level. If we have respiratory ailments such as bronchitis or pneumonia, it could be because this is shut down, this energy center, or blocked, or if we have circulatory or heart-related issues, it's because there is something going on in this energy center. So it's really important to our health to have these energies working properly, coming into the body and leaving the body, and balancing these out, as you can tell, because it can affect the health eventually. We all heard the saying about somebody, passing away from a broken heart. And that really can happen. Somebody can be so deeply hurt where it actually shuts this energy center down, which is the center one. So it's like, it's our life force, I always think of E.T. and Turn Your Heart Light On when I talk about this chakra, because it is that important. It's kind of like the center, and then the lower body and upper body are balanced by this center of energy. And so if that's not flowing through us, it can cause some real damage within our bodies, and we start breaking down. And that's with any of these energy centers. It's like it can affect your health in a very negative way if one of them is, off balance or not clear. So that's why it's so important that we follow this regimen of, checking these daily, these energy centers, making sure we're clear, because it will help us to feel better each day. Now, you will feel a big shift once we go through and release in this energy center, because of, we're going to, kind of tilt it now, because we've gone through the 3 bottom ones. And so once we do this fourth one, these other three on the top kind of go a little bit quicker, and they're not as heavy duty. The first four are heavy duty as far as the release is concerned. And it is because of what they deal with and what they're related to. But you will feel the shift in the body. And again, once we clear this out, the tingling will, even come up higher within the body into the shoulder area all the way up, okay? So I want you to be prepared for that feeling when it comes in. And if you're not feeling that, you might want to go back and just do this exercise one more time with the breathing for each one of those areas that kind of feel like you didn't clear it all the way, until you feel this tingling sensation throughout your whole body once we finish the whole set of energy centers, all 7. So let's go ahead and clear these out. We want to clear anything in this 4th energy center, the heart chakra energy, that's not in your highest and best interest. We want to release anything that is of the lower energies out of this area, and any pain, guilt, shame associated with anything, we want to release those things as well. Heartache, grief, we want to release all this stuff right now that we can, and we're going to do this on a cellular level, a DNA level. We're going to release anything that's connected to this energy center, and we want to release it on all times, dimensions, spaces, realities, past, present, future, lifetimes. And go ahead and take your deep breath in of that light energy, the love and light energy around you, the positive energy. Take a deep breath in and then hold it and release, and start now. Hold it and then release. Bring another one in. Breathe in deep. Hold that and then release and blow out. Releasing anything from the body that no longer serves you. And it's just, imagine these like positive little light balls, and these negative, like little balls that their light went out, okay? Because that's kind of what that is. It's negative energy, so it's not a positive one. So we're releasing those things out. So we got positive ones coming in, charging us up, and then we're releasing the ones, because we've got to, it's kind of like feng shuiing the body is what I always tell people. So just, we want to feng shui and bring in the good energy and release what we don't need that's negative, okay? So again, breathe in deep, and then release. And as you do this, you may feel some discomfort in the center of the chest area. Don't panic. It's because things will kind of like fight. Our subconscious wants to hold on to stuff. And so if you kind of feel a little discomfort, relax your body. Again, focus in that area to release. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. And release. And this goes for any of these when we do it. It's like if we feel a little tension, or it's not really a pain, it's just kind of tension in that area, because our subconscious is very, very powerful, and it wants to hold on to these things because they've been with us for a long time. Some of these lower negative energies or pains or experiences that we've had, and so this is what this is doing. It's like we're cleaning out this old stuff as we go through. So take one more deep breath in, hold that, and then release. And if you need to repeat this again, like I said, stop the video here. Take a few more deep breaths in. You may need to take a break because this is the heavy duty one. So, you can stop the video here again, take a little break, stand up, stretch your legs, and then come back and finish the top 3 energy centers. Okay, so we're moving to the fifth energy center, which is also known as the throat chakra. This one is located at the center of your neck at the level of the throat. It is the passage of energy between the lower parts of the body and the head. The function of the throat chakra is driven by the principle of expression and communication, obviously, because this is where our voice box is, our throat is, how we communicate. So this is one of the most interesting energy centers, because you will be surprised as you listen the functionality of this one. And this is represented also by the color light blue in my diagram. Some people may put like a bluish purple color in, a grayish blue color. I like to use the light blue so that we can distinguish between this fifth chakra and the sixth one, which is like an indigo blue. So the color blues are kind of similar, so I wanted to separate those that way. So this is the light blue one located at the throat. It is also related to the element of sound or frequencies. And as you know, frequencies are a vibration. So through the throat, sound is propagated into the air, and it is a vibration that can be felt not just in our ears, but also in our whole body, right? And obviously, it is an important instrument of communication and expression in our lives. On a physical level, it is connected to the mouth, the jaws, the tongue, the larynx, the palate. It's also linked to our shoulders, different parts in our shoulders, and also at the other parts of our neck area. There is a gland that is associated with this energy center, and that is known as the thyroid. The thyroid is a small gland that looks like a butterfly, and it's literally on top of the throat area here. So this thyroid is very interesting because it regulates the processing of energy, okay, throughout the body. So it processes and regulates our temperature in the body. It regulates our growth. It regulates many of the organs and large pieces of the body itself, and our metabolism. But there's even more interesting stuff with this particular energy center. So I always get excited with the throat chakra because to me it's fascinating what this energy center actually does. So from a psychological and behavioral characteristic, this is how we express ourselves. In particular, the ability to express your truth, to speak out when we're in balance, right? It's about communication, whether it's verbal or nonverbal. So when we're talking to ourselves in our head, we're still affecting this energy center and the energy in the body. So it doesn't matter if it's like we're talking in our head to ourselves. We all do it, okay, so admit it. And we say something negative, it's like that's going to affect us. So it doesn't matter if we're actually speaking something out loud or internally. To be honest with you, the internal voice is more powerful than speaking it externally. And that's a whole nother topic that we'll go into some other time. But right now we want to go back to this and see the other characteristics. It's also a connection with the etheric realm, the more subtle realms of like spirituality and intuitive gifts or abilities. It gives us the ability and propensity to create, to project our ideas and blueprints into reality. So you can see how this particular energy center is working with the other ones we already talked about. Like I said, everything's connected here. Realizing your vocation or your purpose in life is actually housed in this throat chakra energy. Isn't that amazing? And then it also gives us a good sense of timing. So if you're one of those people that is in the right place at the right time, know that this throat chakra, your fifth energy center, is aligned. Okay? So those people out there where they, somebody thinks that's just luck, but it's actually being in alignment that causes us to be in the right place at the right time. So I really want you to think about that, because we all need to do that in our life and have that ability to, be in that space of energy of being in the right place at the right time. It's going to make life a lot easier. It also helps us find our truth, find our purpose in life, be able to create all of that with this energy being in alignment. So sometimes when we feel stuck, this particular chakra is out of alignment. Now, whenever I do this chakra, because it's the throat chakra, if there's things to be released, if we haven't spoke our truth, you may start clearing your throat. You might start coughing already, or get losing your voice. That means that chakra's not aligned, and we're not speaking our truth when we start to lose our voice a little bit. It can also mean that there might be a little bit of fear there on what we're about to say. We may not be sure about ourselves. So it's kind of interesting how sensitive this particular energy center is. It's the most noticeable one anyways, because we can, have this imbalance, and again, it can be too much or too little, so we want to have it in between and balanced out, this particular energy center. So if this is blocked, we may feel insecure, we may feel timid, we may be feeling introverted, like we don't want to say anything, right? And if it's on the other level where it's overactive, these kind of people that are overactive with that energy could be nonstop talking, verbal aggressive or mean, gossiping. Okay, it can affect us in different ways if it's not in alignment. So when this is out of balance, it's like having a lack of control over one's speech, speaking too much or inappropriately. It's out of balance. Not being able to listen to others. Excessive fear of speaking. So if you're afraid to speak in front of people, more than likely this energy center is out of balance, but you probably have some other ones out of balance, like in your solar plexus, because that's where the fear comes from. But we can get to the point where those two are connected, and then we're afraid to talk or, express ourselves the way that we should. We can have like a small voice. You've heard people where they talk really quiet, you can't hear them, or they're mumbling. Again, that's this energy center. Not being able to keep secrets, to keep your word. People that tell lies, obviously this energy center is out of whack. On the opposite side, a closed throat chakra might manifest excessive secretness or shyness. So it can go to extremes at these levels. Or you may feel a lack of connection with your purpose in life. A lot of times as we grow spiritually, we may realize we have another purpose, and so we definitely have to go in and clear this energy to find that purpose in life and to find, the reason we're here. Or maybe it has to deal with our work or job or vocation of what we really want to do with our life. Okay, and like I said, when this is in balance, we have the ability to express our truth, to speak out, to communicate verbally, to people. We don't do that negative self-talk. We can connect with people. It helps with our intuitive abilities. We're very intuitive when this is in balance. We have this ability to create and project our ideas and blueprints and expand on that, right? And we'll always have that good sense of timing in. It's like, we talk about being in this vortex of energy and being in the right place at the right time. And that's with that chi energy flowing through the body. If the body has this positive flow and we're flowing with the universe, it means we're in complete alignment. And this one is really sensitive, okay? Because this is kind of like our navigational tool in life, this particular chakra. So we want to go in now and clear this energy in the throat chakra area. So anything that's not in your highest and best interest, anything that is on a cellular level, a DNA level, anything connected to this particular energy center, we want to release those things that are not in your highest and best interest or of a lower energy. We want to do that on all times, dimensions, spaces, realities, past, present, future, lifetimes. And we want to take a deep breath in and release. And I'm going to warn you, when you do this one, you may cough or feel like there's something coming out. And it will release anything that's kind of been blocked up from the other energy centers we worked with. So it just depends. You may not get anything, or you may end up coughing a little bit or clearing your throat. This is where you'll need a drink of water for sure after we do this one, because it will leave this kind of taste in your mouth from releasing this energy. It's very strange how all this works. So go ahead and take your deep breath in and hold it, and then we'll release. And it's like, imagine the light coming in. Hold that. And then release. Again, breath in, hold that, and then release. And we'll do it one more time. Breath in, hold it, and then release. Okay, so go ahead and take a drink of water and kind of wash that down. Hopefully that wasn't too uncomfortable, and we'll move on to the next energy center. Okay, so we're moving to the 6th energy center, which is the third eye chakra. This is located on the forehead between the eyebrows, and it is the center of our intuition and foresight. The function of this third eye is driven by the principle of openness and imagination. And the color of this energy center is connected with the color that is like a bluish purple or an indigo color. A lot of times you'll see it as a like dark purplish blue color in the aura. And this particular energy center is very, very sensitive to changes in the lighting in a room. And it brings us this mystical state of consciousness and perception by the effects of light coming in. So when you see something out of the corner of your eye, you really are seeing it with this third eye chakra. This energy center is connected to vision, intuition, the perception of subtle dimensions and movements of energy. It's connected to psychic abilities related to clairvoyance and clairaudience especially. This is how we access mystical states, illumination. It's a connection to wisdom and insight, and it motivates inspiration and creativity. So you can kind of see how that's connected to the other energy centers with the creativity and the inspiration side. So if this energy center is closed, what it can manifest is an imbalance in certain areas where you feel like you're stuck in a daily grind without being able to look beyond your problems and set a vision for yourself. And if it's overactive, then it may manifest fantasies that appear more real than reality. It can cause a person to indulge in psychic fantasies and illusions. Another thing is, if it's out of balance, you would not be able to establish a vision for yourself and realize it. You could also reject everything spiritual or beyond the usual, or just not being able to see the greater picture, the big vision, or you may have this lack of clarity. So now you can see why this is actually a very important energy center. A lot of people that if they're not into the chakras or knowing about them and the third eye, they may not even believe in the third eye. But if you really look at these energy centers and what they do, you can see how important these really are, because they tie into everything in the body, the whole energy. So we're going to go in and clear this now for the third eye, and then we're actually going to open your third eye a little bit larger once we go in and clear this energy here. The other thing that can happen is when we're young children, we may see something that is not pleasant, or just something you didn't really want to see in your lifetime, and it can cause that third eye energy to close. And I've seen this happen a lot where they're closed completely, which, we can still function with it closed. I would say it's probably partially open, but once we open that up, the creativity will really start flowing from within. And this helps people to get on their mission or on their path and find their direction in life. And so I really feel like this area is forgotten. So let's go in and clear this now on a cellular level, a DNA level. We want to clear this on all times, dimensions, spaces, and realities, past, present, future, lifetimes, and we want to clear anything there that's not in your highest and best interest. Clear the memories, clear anything that's of a lower energy, and release that now. And we're going to release all that energy that you don't need in this area. And I want you to take a big deep breath in of the love and light energy, and hold that breath and then release what's no longer needed. So go ahead and take a deep breath in, hold it, and then release. And then we'll take another deep breath in of love and light, hold it, and then release. And this one doesn't usually take as many breathing techniques as the other ones, because of it being a smaller area. So we can usually do 2 or 3 and it'll be pretty clear. So now what we want to do is we want to go in, and I'm actually going to shift the energy with my energy and your third eye energy center there. And this is a very strange feeling. You will literally feel fingers there, or this feeling and sensation of that area opening up, kind of like a flower. And it's going to go in a circular motion, and we're opening that up so that you can have these beautiful visions for your future now. So you definitely want to have this energy center open. And so we'll open that up right now. And it is a very strange feeling that you'll be feeling like on your forehead energetically. It may be a tingling sensation or like an opening, because if yours was closed, you'll definitely know that it's open now. And we'll get ready here. We'll take a break and move to the last energy center, the crown chakra. At this point, you should be feeling pretty good energetically, and your body should be kind of tingling, having this tingling sensation. We will now move into the 7th energy center, which is the last one. And this one is also referred to as the crown chakra. And this is located at the top of the head. It gives us access to higher states of consciousness as we open to what is beyond our personal preoccupations and visions. The functions of this energy center are driven by consciousness and gets us in touch with the universe and the universal energies. The color of this energy center is usually depicted as purple or violet, and in some instances people may refer to it as a white energy that has a rainbow tint to that white energy coming off the top of the head. This particular energy center is located on the top of the head or slightly above the head. It kind of sits like a crown radiating upwards, hence its name, crown chakra. This energy center is primarily associated to the pituitary gland and secondarily to the pineal and hypothalamus. The hypothalamus and the pituitary gland work in pair to regulate the endocrine system. Because of its location on the top of the head, it's also closely associated with the brain and the whole nervous system. In addition, this energy center is connected to all of the other energy centers, especially the first energy center at the base. This energy center is connected to our consciousness, our awareness of higher consciousness, wisdom, all that is sacred, the connection with the formless and limitless energy within the universe. In addition, it gives us liberation from limiting patterns. It is also where we connect with the higher states of consciousness. It is connected to ecstasy and bliss and being in the present moment, the presence of our physical being on this planet. Some describe this energy center as the gateway to the cosmic self or the divine self or to universal consciousness. It's linked to the infinite and to the universe around us. When we have an imbalance in this area, it can manifest the following. We may have a feeling of being disconnected to spirit, or have constant cynicism regarding what is sacred. On the opposite side, an overactive crown chakra could manifest as a disconnection with our physical body. Or we could be obsessive or have an obsessive attachment to spiritual matters, going and tilting to that other side on spiritual levels. And it can also create closed-mindedness. So let's go in and clear the energy in this last energy center, the 7th energy center, the crown chakra. And we're going to release everything that's not in your highest and best interest. Those things of the lower energies, lower vibrations. And we're going to do this on a DNA level, a cellular level. We are going to release past, present, future, lifetimes, and all times, dimensions, spaces, and realities. And so now I want you to take a deep breath in and hold it and release, and we'll pull in the love and light energy from around us and take a deep breath in, hold it, and then release. And with this one, we'll just do 2. Another deep breath in, hold it, and release. So now what we want to do is go in and spin these balls of energy from the bottom, the first energy center, and work our way up through the body to the top 7th energy center, and feel that vibration and clarity of energy running through your body. And this will cause a frequency, a vibration to run through the whole body. You should feel really good when you do this. So imagine those balls of energy, starting with the first one, spinning around, and we want to spin it clockwise. Okay, spin the ball clockwise. And then we'll go to the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, 6, and then 7. You should be feeling a vibration or a frequency of energy that feels very good running through the body. If you feel like it's blocked anywhere in any of those energy centers, I want you to go back to that energy center location and repeat that release for that energy center to make sure that you are fully clear. And so this is something that you want to use whenever you feel like your energy is blocked in some way, or if you experience something very negative or emotional, you can go in and clear these things with this exercise. Once you know how to do this, you won't need the video to actually go in and clear these energy centers. And you want to try and balance these every morning on a daily basis and make sure your energy centers are always clear, because this is going to help you to become more sensitive of how the body should feel. So when something's not quite right in a specific area, you will be able to tell what issue is going on with you or what it's affecting within the body. So this is a very useful tool for the inner energy which radiates outwards. This will help you with your health, your well-being, your feelings, your emotions, keeping these energy centers clear each day. So it's really, really, really one of the most important steps of your daily routine to change how you're feeling and how you're reacting to the outside world. Over time, this becomes more and more powerful as you learn some of the other techniques that go with this one. But I have to say, out of all of the programs that I teach, this is probably one of the most important ones, so that we become adjusted and kind of knowing our body and how it should feel when the energy is running perfectly through the energy centers. Thank you again for signing up for this course, and I hope this has been a big help for you and that you're feeling really good right now. Many blessings.